Okay, hi everyone. My name is Carla Santiago. I'm a third-year medical student at the University of Illinois College of Medicine. I worked as an intern for 6Ls during the summer and fall of 2021, and I'm here to talk to you about the Hispanic Outreach Promoting Equity project, which was led by Ashley Valentine and I with the support of the 6L staff. We worked on this project during that summer and fall, and we launched a social media campaign during last year's Hispanic Heritage Month. And I'm very excited to share about this project, and I want to thank the SCDAA for the opportunity to talk to you all today. So just real quick, I want to share who we are in case you haven't heard about us. 6Ls is a national sickle cell disease advocacy nonprofit founded in 2017 by siblings Ashley and Marcus Valentine. And the work we do focuses on advocacy and storytelling. So this is the 6L staff that worked on this project. And I want to thank Emma and Abby for helping with the logistics, editing, and logo design. So about the HOPE project. The HOPE project was funded by the Global Genes Rare Health Equity Grant. The project had 3 goals. It was to identify educational gaps, expand outreach, and also to create recommendations and educational tools based on our findings from the Hispanic community with sickle cell disease. The full report for the project can be found at our website at 6ls.org. So some background for the project and why we thought this work was important. Sickle cell disease has previously been labeled or discussed as a disease that only affects individuals of African descent, which we know is not correct, as it affects people from many different backgrounds. There's a general lack of awareness about sickle cell disease in the Hispanic community and about Hispanic individuals living with sickle cell disease. Personally, I knew about sickle cell disease because I'm in the healthcare field, but I was very unaware of the fact that it also impacts a lot of Hispanic individuals. Anecdotally, from talking to my family, I can confirm awareness about sickle cell disease, at least in my part of the community, is very low. And then also it's difficult to estimate exactly how many people in general have sickle cell disease in the United States. So therefore, it's also hard to know how many Hispanic people have sickle cell disease in the United States. But based on birth incidence estimates, the CDC estimates that sickle cell disease occurs in about 1 out of every 16,300 Hispanic American births. The way we conducted the project was in 4 parts. First, we conducted an online environmental scan to search for Spanish language resources about sickle cell disease and to try to find advocacy organizations for sickle cell disease in the Hispanic community. Next, we conducted a roundtable discussion with individuals from the community. We launched a social media campaign during Hispanic Heritage Month, which featured the participants from the roundtable. And finally, we wrote up a report summarizing our work and our findings. The dissemination of the project is still ongoing since the report is up on our website for everyone to see and take a look. So what we learned from the project was that Hispanic individuals with sickle cell disease face a lot of the same challenges that anybody with sickle cell disease faces, including racial bias in the healthcare setting, health literacy, and general lack of support and awareness about the disease. Some of the recurrent themes from the roundtable discussion were related specifically to bias and gaps in education. And in Spanish, we found that there are multiple names for sickle cell disease, but one of the more commonly used is anemia falciforme, which people in the community tend to mistake for iron deficiency anemia and think that it can be cured or helped with iron supplements. Some of the participants also expressed having experiences where they were doubted as having sickle cell disease because they weren't African American. And most of the participants expressed that they encounter a lack of understanding in the Hispanic community about what sickle cell disease is, how one comes to get it, and how it is passed down. So to measure our reach during the project, we used social media engagement as a measure of impact. Our environmental scan found that there are many advocacy organizations for sickle cell disease in the Hispanic community and in Latin American countries abroad that are very active on social media. And so we found this was a powerful way for us to promote the stories of these individuals that we were trying to share. And the final report was sent to legislators, government agencies, and folks in general with a stake in the sickle cell disease space. So as far as engagement goes, we posted across all social media platforms, but these numbers are from Instagram. Impressions are how many people saw the post. Engagement refers to how many people did something more than just see the post, so liked, commented, or shared it. And the engagement rate is a percent of people who engaged with the post after seeing it. So the next slides show what the posts looked like. We featured a photo and a quote from the roundtable discussion, which we made available in both English and Spanish to increase engagement from the Hispanic community. We also made sure to make the Spanish quote a little bit bigger just so that it could grab the attention of Spanish-speaking folks who came across the post. So this is Maria and her daughter Jasmine, and Maria was her primary caregiver. And then we also have Servio, who is a sickle cell warrior, and Nilda, who's a sickle cell warrior. And the full posts can be found on our website as well. So my biggest takeaway from the work that we did in this project is that education is going to be key to bridging the gaps in knowledge. I think the main point that we should be driving home to decrease racial bias and misconceptions is that sickle cell disease is primarily a genetic disorder that can affect just anyone, and it's not tied to any one race. Education efforts should keep in mind the audience that they're trying to reach. For example, in the Hispanic community, the aim should be to raise awareness about what sickle cell disease is, starting with the very basics, because not everyone knows what sickle cell disease is in that community. And then in the healthcare community, I think more people are aware of sickle cell disease as a disease, but there are a lot of misconceptions. So the aim should be to increase awareness about the diversity of the sickle cell disease community and how sickle cell disease patients may not always look how they may expect them to look, and how to avoid bias in race-based medicine. In the sickle cell disease community, I think continuing to put out stories featuring a diverse range of individuals to highlight the diversity within the community itself will go a long way to giving a voice to these individuals who may not feel like they have a voice. So where do we go from here? We identified some themes for further discussion exploration, which are include but are not limited to how immigration laws impact the way Hispanic individuals with sickle cell disease seek medical care, disparities in access to clinical trials, new therapies and treatment, and the need for more bone marrow and blood donors from the Hispanic community. We plan to continue the project by continuing to feature the stories of sickle cell warriors and making these blog posts available in Spanish and translating educational materials as well. So that's all from me. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to Ashley Valentine, who also led this project with me. And I hope this project leads to similar work and more awareness about sickle cell disease in the Hispanic community. Thank you for listening.